Hey, how's it going, my fellow Noob-a-Noobs? This is Mike with Whatever's On, and today I'm bringing you guys a team deathmatch on Overlord. Now, quickly, trying to get to like the main points. I ended up going 20-1 this game, and if you guys see my previous videos, or if you guys have browsed through my videos and checked them out, I really never camp. It's mostly just, kind of guarding a certain area, and I guess you guys might say that's camping, but it's a wide, range. I don't just stay in one corner or in one spot. I stay in one building, or around that building. I tend to move around a lot, so I don't really just sit down and wait for people. I kind of, hunt them down within my range, because there's a lot of people, that'll try to pick somebody off from across the map, and I don't think that really, works out for me. So I tend to just protect my territory. And that's kind of like the rule of thumb, Whenever you take control of a place, you have to protect it, and that's what I do. And I know that's, kind of noobish, like, oh man, this guy just, protects a building, but it helps a lot, especially because when you kill somebody, they're going to want to kill you back. So they might end up coming back once, twice, maybe even 3 times, in an attempt to kill you. So all you have to do is maneuver around, and ultimately it always works out for me. Now, let's get quick into what I'm using and what I recommend you guys use. Now, this map is fairly big. It's not the biggest map. This is Overlord for those of you guys. I said it at the intro, but just in case you guys, fast forwarded the video a little bit. And this map is, heavily based on medium to long range weapons, I want to say, because unless you're in the buildings moving out and about, you're not really gonna encounter a lot of people. Usually everybody's, outside, everybody's trying to flank or take an outside route. So that's kind of why I use this class. Now, I'm using the Honey Badger, and I'm using a grip with a thermal sight, because the thermal sight actually has 2 sights, kind of like the target finder in my previous video. So whenever I want to switch to close range, all I have to do is, aim down the sight and then tap right trigger or right thumbstick. But, yeah, this game's actually really good. I also picked up the AK-12 here, and I used it for a couple of kills. I might end up using that further down my, Call of Duty career, but right now I'm focusing on trying to use whatever helps me out a lot. So up until I really, get to that point where I just want to try out new weapons and see what I can use, I'm going to just stick to whatever I feel comfortable with, because usually if you don't really feel comfortable with a weapon, you're not going to do as well. So that's where I'm coming from with that. But I highly encourage you guys to try out new things, because I've been doing it myself. I went from the K7 to the Remington to this one, and the next one might be the AK-12. Like I said, it's a really good weapon. I like the range, I like the accuracy, I like the damage, and the clip size is a good one too. I believe it's 30, so I mean it's the same as the Remington or any other weapon, the Honey Badger. So it's always freaking amazing. But the reason I'm using the grip and the thermal on my Honey Badger is because, especially on a map like this, it lets you, kind of scope out people if they're head glitching or if they're camping in a corner or something. You could always aim down the sight and you'll see their glow if they don't have the perk that protects you against thermal sights. And a lot of people don't actually, so it's always, really good to be using that. And I'm using a grip so that when I do scope in with the thermal sight to try to get somebody from medium to far range, I do end up picking them off without getting all that extra recoil. Now, if you guys can see right here, I'm using the Vulture because it's a really good kill streak. I mean, the thing follows you around and it kills people. And if you do get killed, this thing will fly back to you and it'll kill anybody within its path. So that's freaking amazing. Now, I was reading at the comments that you guys posted really quick, and this is going to get off topic for just a couple of seconds, hopefully. Maybe like 40 seconds. But thank you guys for the feedback so far. I am trying to talk a little bit more and, kind of stay more with the game, because I do end up going off into another dimension of gaming or just my life, which completely has no, correlation to the game at all. So I am going to improve on that, and that's why I'm doing this video, because I kind of want to tell you guys what I use, what I recommend. Now, if you guys haven't used the Honey Badger before, It's actually a really good assault rifle, and I'm using these two attachments because it already comes with the silencer, so just adding anything else is a bonus, so that always works out for me. Now I'm using Dead Silence Amplify just so I can hear people. Like you guys know from my previous videos that's my loadout. Those two are a must for me all the time. Doesn't matter what I want to do, especially because a lot of people are upgrading to better technology. Everybody's getting gaming headsets nowadays. Gaming headsets are starting to come with consoles. So, people are kind of moving onto the next generation of gaming, and that's headsets, because ultimately it does come down to, what you're using. Now, I haven't made the transition to scuff controllers or any of that stuff. I'm just using a regular controller. I haven't felt the need for a scuff controller. I play perfectly fine with mine. And down the line I might try it out. I've never used one, so I'm not going to bag on them. I'm not going to say they suck, but I guess they might help somebody. Well, they might not help somebody else. I've never used them, so hopefully in the future I'll let you guys know kind of what happens with that. But for now, I'm just going to stick to, my type of gaming, and that's just playing for fun, because I love doing commentaries, especially for you guys that subscribe. And I am improving a little bit more, as you guys can tell. Before, I used to just completely suck. My first video, if you guys look at my first commentary, it was horrid. And I mean, I guess I kind of took it like it was a task that I had to accomplish just to get better, just to be able to speak more fluently. Now, I'm using, let me talk to you guys about my kill streaks really quick, because I want to get back on topic. I am using the Sentry Gun Vulture Maniac, and usually I alternate between the the Maniac and the Recon Maniac, because I think that there's two of them. One gives you a minigun or a minigun, whatever you guys want to call it. I just call it mini because that's what I used to call it as a child, and it kind of got embedded into my head. So mini, so whatever. But yeah, I tend to use those, even though the Maniac is really horrid, and it works out for me. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed this commentary. This one was a little bit more into the game. I ran out of time, but you guys like, comment, subscribe. This is Mike with Whatever's On. Enjoy!